What's up guys, Barber back with another video. And in this video, I want to talk about a short that I did a couple weeks ago. A couple weeks ago, really quickly, I did a video that told barbers how to perform a bald head service, not a shave, but a bald head service with the clippers, trimmers, and shavers, so that way the client can have the best experience. What I didn't know was there's so many people who did not know how to perform a bald head service. People that were asking me weren't just barbers. They were girls who shave their heads. They were just guys who are thinking about shaving their heads and don't know how. And so I'm gonna show you how I do it. And this is gonna show you how to get your head down to literally like razor close without actually having to use the razor. So in order to do this, you're gonna need some very specific tools. The first tool that you're gonna need, an adjustable clipper. If you have a lot of long hair, this is gonna be a very important tool to have. An adjustable clipper is your basic, your hair clipper that Walmart has, Sally Beauty, anywhere that you want. I'll put links in the descriptions to most of these. The motor in this clipper is prepared to go through all lengths of hair. If your hair is too thick, you need a big motor. These tend to be much more powerful and much more effective at removing bulk than these do. Moving on to the next tool that you're going to need is going to be a trimmer. Now, if you have hair like mine, which is not much or it's very short, you can jump straight to the trimmer. This is going to be for taking this down as low as you can. And I think most people who do bald heads, they use this and then they stop. And what they find is that sometimes they have uneven spots or they have this stubble, or the very next day, they don't even feel like they've got a bald head anymore. They feel like they're pretty much back to where they were, you know. It grows out significantly, so you don't actually get to enjoy the bald head. So after the trimmer, you're going to use a foil shaver. And this right here is what's gonna make the difference between a bald head with stubble on it that kind of grows back pretty fast, and using this is going to take it almost down to the razor length. Why do we have to go through the other steps before we do this? Well, it's because this will not touch long hair. That's why you have to have the adjustable clipper. Some of them may take hair like mine down. And the way that these work is you have this blade that essentially just vibrates. And this is also a blade that when put on top, you turn it on, you have the blades vibrating in here, but then you also have right here is a blade. So your hair goes in, the bottom blades cut it, and it leaves it just as smooth as this foil is thin. So again, these are the tools that you're gonna need. That's the first part. So having shown you the tools, I'm actually gonna do this on myself and show you how to perform the best bald head service on yourself, as well as if you're a barber, there's gonna be the full tutorial on how to provide the best bald head service if you're in the barbershop. So the first step, if you're in the house, I know a lot of you guys are gonna be using a towel, you're just gonna take your shirt off, you're not gonna worry about it. But for me, I don't like the hair on me, and I wanna encourage you guys to get a cape. The next thing that I do is I take my glasses off because I need to be able to get the trimmer right here. I've got a beard, so if you're a guy, you wanna figure out where you want your beard to be marked. If I've got long hair, I'm gonna start off with my adjustable blade clipper, and I'm going to remove the bulk. I'm just gonna take everything off. But because I don't actually need this, I'm gonna go ahead and skip this part. Because I do not have long hair, I'm going to go with the Stylecraft Saber, which is a trimmer, okay? And so I'm gonna find my mark right here where I want my hair to start, and I'm gonna start balding out. This is like mowing grass. It's like you've got hair, you're just erasing the hair. There's nothing to be scared of with the trimmers if this is your first time, if you're not a barber that's ever used these. It might take a couple strokes for you to kind of get what's familiar, but just take your time. There's no need to rush. Fold your ear down, find the place where you want to start. Got my line there. And then I'm actually using my mirror, which is right here. And you want to have a mirror in front of you while you do this. Got it. Now, from the front, it looks like I'm done. From the back, not so much. I need a mirror behind me, and I'm going to use this so that way I can see exactly what I'm doing. When I look behind me, I can see all of the hair that's still there. So I'm gonna start on one side and I'm gonna continue to just essentially mow the grass until all the hair is gone. Always wanna start down where the cape is and go up from there. And I'm just taking my time, I'm not going too fast because I wanna be careful to get all of the hairs. Something else that's important is while I'm doing it, I have a finger, sometimes two, touching my hair as I go up and down. And what that does is that gives me the ability to see and feel where the hair is. For instance, I can feel that this is pretty clean right now because I've got two hairs going in front of the blade. But once I get right here, I can tell, not by looking, but by feeling, that there's hair here that needs to go away. And then I'm always sure to try to go all the way up to that bald spot. Now, once I've done the right side of my head, it's hard to get back here and do the left side. So I'll switch the clippers into my other hand and I'll do the exact same scenario, utilizing my mirror and my fingers to see where the hair needs to be cut. Start at the bottom of my neck. Go ahead and retrace some of the stuff that I've already done. But that finger in front of the blade really tells me where the hair is. It tells me what I'm missing, because sometimes this is hard. And sometimes you'll miss hair and there's not really a way to know. And I'll tell you what, the worst thing to do is to want to have a bald head or to try to cut your own hair and then to get out in public and then realize you missed like 7 hairs. Because somebody's going to see it, somebody's going to know, and hopefully it's a friend. They'll call you out for it before you get to the house or before you get out of the house. But I have definitely gone out of the house with some missed areas and it's not fun. I'm looking for sprigs or anything that sticks up as not cut yet. Sometimes this area right here can be difficult, and I'm hoping that you're still able to pick up my audio as I turn around. So you just want to be conscious to get everything. And there's nothing wrong with spending 5 or 10 more minutes just going over everything. Even if you don't feel or see anything, just imagine you're touching every part of your head with the trimmers. Then 2 more spots that are always problem areas. Fold your ear down like this and look right here. And as you can see, hopefully you can see, sure enough, I have missed spots right here. So I'll use my mirror. Normally I would use my mirror, but today I'm using my camera just to get those spots. Let's see about this side. Yep. See that right there? You don't want that. You want to get that. So. Next, we're moving to my Stylecraft Rebel, which is the foil shaver that we talked about earlier. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go with the grain of the hair. Like, your hair grows forward in this area, generally. It grows down in this area, and it all starts right here. So it goes down and out. And so what I'm going to do is first I'm going to go with the grain and then pick up and go with the grain and pick up. And I'm going to do that over my whole head. And what that's going to do is that's going to bring even the stubble down, because this is the part where most people can get to where we are now. This is the thing that makes the difference on a truly bald head. So I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to start going with the grain. Then I'm going to go across the grain. Then I'm going to go against the grain. There's no reason to be in a rush. A lot of times when the barbers are moving so fast with these foil shavers, the client's actually very uncomfortable. So I've gone with the grain. Now I'm going to begin to go across the grain. And I can feel that it has begun to take it down 1 layer. A lot of times I'll do my hair in panels. I'll do this side panel, I'll do this side panel, then I'll do the top, and then I'll do the back. The back and the crown area takes the most time because I can't see that area, and I depend on my fingers and my touch, how I showed you with the trimmers, to make sure that I'm getting clean and smooth. So I'm gonna begin to go across the grain by panels, and then we'll go against the grain. Now my hair in the back goes down from my crown. So as you can see in the mirror, I'm going across the grain. That makes for the maximum comfort level of going against the grain, which is what I'm going to go down. And when you go against the grain, that's the slowest that you want to go. And the reason why you want to go slower when you go against the grain, that's because you've got a razor going up under each hair follicle, lifting it up and cutting it. If you go too fast, that blade's going to go up under the hair follicle. It's going to lift it, but it's not going to cut it. See, I can feel in the back of my head where I didn't get as close going across the grain because I can feel it bogging the motor down. I can feel it really trying to slow the motor up, which is why I just go slow. The thicker your hair and the thicker the density of your hair is, the slower you're going to need to go. If you have thin hair and your density is pretty sparse, it's going to be a pretty easy head shape for you. As long as I can hear hair being cut, then I need to keep moving the shaver. But once I can just hear the shaver going over my head and it doesn't feel like anything's being cut, then I can move to the next section. The crown is probably the most important section, and I have to do the fingers. So I'll put my finger on my head, and where I feel resistance, that's where I run the shaver. This is going to be an ideal way to go because it's pretty much impossible to cut yourself by doing this. But what you'll find is that the results, like I said, are oftentimes even closer than had you used a razor. So now I'm rubbing this all over my head and I'm not really getting any resistance anywhere that I can feel. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to check. I'm going to rub my hands in circles and try to find little sprigs, little spots. And I don't feel any. Maybe a little bit on the crown of my head, which is definitely the spot that needs the most attention. So I'm just going to rub in different directions and see if anything's picked up. Feeling pretty good about that. The next thing that I'll do, as a barber, I would grab my duster. But since this video is for barbers as well as people at home, you could just grab a towel and you can wipe off the dust that's on your head. The next thing that you're gonna do, aftershave. You need your skin to be sanitized. Now, obviously you're gonna be using sanitized and disinfected tools. You're gonna make sure that they're clean. But when you shave your head, you essentially remove that first layer of epidermis, which is what the dust was. It was actually dandruff and skin coming off. So your whole head is exposed to the air. So what you're gonna do is spray it liberally with aftershave. Ow. Yep, it hurts. It hurts. Oh, the fact that it hurts tells me that I had exposed skin and that it needed to be disinfected, if you will. So I'll rub it in with my hands, which are clean, and then I'll just tap it with a towel. And you learn that the burn is actually a good thing. A lot of funny videos of kids getting alcohol. Feel free to check those out. Okay, now I've done that part. The next thing that I'm gonna do, you can grab any kind of oil that you want. I'm using Hot 6 oil, which is an oil that has 6 different oils in it that are good for your hair and good for your skin. You could pretty much use any skin moisturizer, conditioner, or oil for your hair, because as a general rule, if it's natural and it's good for the hair, then it's good for the skin and vice versa. So I'll just put a couple of squirts of this in my hand. I'll rub it around and I'll just kind of tap my head. Now, if you want a shiny bald head, this is gonna be your last step. A lot of people want the shiny look, and you can only obtain the shiny look if you're like razor close. So that's one reason to use the shaver. I don't really like the shine on my head, so I'll come back with the towel, tap again. And the last thing that I like to do, this is a Barber thing. You can do this with baby powder, you can do it with talc, whatever you have. But I'll take talc, and again, normally I would apply it to a brush like this. But what you can do is you could just put some baby powder on a towel. Be liberal with it. Right? And then you can just pat your head. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna dry the places where that oil's just sitting on your head. So that way your head looks naturally bald. It doesn't look like you've just, doused it in oil. Again, if you want the shiny look, keep the oil on, apply more. I like mine to look natural. That's the finished product. That's how I'm gonna recommend for you guys to do your bald heads at home. All right, guys, so that's how I do a bald head. That's the best information that I have coming straight from a barber. I've been cutting hair for 8 years. So this is how I perform all of the services in my shop, except for generally I will shave their head with a razor blade, but that's really just part of the experience. Coming from a barber, these foil shavers do exactly the same job that a razor does. When you come to the barber shop, you just get the razor to enhance the experience. But guys, the real work is done with these. So don't think that if you use a shaver that somehow you're not getting the full experience, because you absolutely are. You're getting the best bald head that is achievable, and it's slick. There's nothing there. So I hope this was helpful for you. I will have a link in the description to every single tool that I'm using, every product that I'm using to perform this service. And if you're a barber, or if you're not a barber, if you're interested in barbering things, if you're interested in Jesus things, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram. I'm Believer Barber. I would love to connect with you guys. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think, or if you have another technique or another tool or something that's helpful for you to do this service at home, let us know what you do. We want to hear all the feedback available. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you for tuning in, and until next time, peace.